God, people have no idea what we do in between these calls.
Sometimes I let them in.
I was very curious on some of Tanza's thoughts on what some of the psychology might have been. But yeah, I know it's a touchy.
Yeah, we didn't fight like
No, I'm not.
until you came.
I'm not upset, honestly.
No,
I really am not upset. I'm feeling strong about certain things, but yeah, I do think that he handled it super wrong. But
Okay.
apart from that,
Okay. Anyway,
So
we're
yeah,
going to be talking about boobage, yeah.
hello and welcome to the QUACKCAST. This is QUACKCAST number 578. I'm Ozone Ocean, and with us on this QUACKCAST is Pitface, Tanserine, and Baines! Oh my god! Hello.
Hello.
Did you hear that sound? That was all of us together. And yeah, Bane's booming voice. He's back again. Isn't it fantastic? Let's rejoice.
no, there's no promise of anything fantastic happening, everybody. So.
It's already happened, Baines. You're on the QUACKCAST. That's all we need.
Thank you. Inviting me back finally.
Your suspension period is over.
Lost the relief.
Your quarantine is at an end. We know we can't catch it from you anymore. Oh dear. So yeah, this week we have we're calling this the QUACKCAST punching toys in the boobs. Because we had a bunch of subjects to pick from, which was Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, your favorite toy as a child, and what toys still inspire you, and boobs, which was Tance's news post, which was I want to talk about boobs, which is a really cool subject. And for our Patreon video, we just talked about boobs. We didn't talk about the other things, so we'll see what we get onto with the actual QUACKCAST. I don't know. Maybe boobs will carry the day. They're pretty good things. They can do a lot of stuff. But first we have to bring up the featured comic. So the featured comic this week was brought to us by QUACKCAST. So Quai, tell us about the featured comic.
Hello, it's QUACKCAST, and the feature I've selected for this week is Ghost Network by Ono Melon, and it is rated T for teen, blue, alone, and confused. Sadie, wake up. We have been through the scene before. The road, the snow, the car, the sharp right turn. It was an accident. You do not want to go down there. Sadie, you are a ghost. We all are ghosts, so stop revisiting the past and wake up. Life as ghost can get repetitive, especially when the tenants ask if the place is haunted. There are monsters present, but they will have problems lurking under Sadie's watch. The art utilizes a monochromatic blue color scheme, as many scenes take place in the evening, and perhaps on another dimensional plane. Battle Beasts with Sadie and Reed. Ghost Network by Ono Melon, rated T.
And that was QUACKCAST with her feature Ghost Network. Next up we have the featured music. The featured music is Team 541. That's the piece of music that Gumwallace has made a theme to for this week. It's a techno dance track that means business. It thumps out with a high-speed futuristic military march, dancing in perfect stomping precision with a show of force and power. So I hope you enjoy the theme to Team 541. Take it away, Gumwallace. And that was our musical theme for the week. The theme to Team 541, which was a comic by MG78 rated E. I featured it the other week. Thank you very much for that, Gomulus. Okay, so yeah, punching toys in the boobs. Chance, you made a great news post.
Yes, I did.
The cutest little baby dog. They're the cute little baby dogs you have. Beautiful little creatures.
I did. I made a post about boobs because I wanted to talk about boobs and talk about how they are a thing that comes in many shapes and sizes. And it's not the size or the shape that makes a character like a sex object or super hypersexualized or whatever. It is the way that you draw the shape and size. And very much how you figure out the physics of that shape and size. And that's the thing. Like the size itself is not sexualizing, I guess, as a feature necessarily. That was the point of the post.
Yeah.
How you lay out your panels and like where's your camera in your comic? You know, if it's in the right place, the fact that they exist can be, erotic, depending on.
Yeah, if you've got like a high-angle camera always looking down at the cleavage.
Yeah, angling down. Like, just like two guys in a business meeting, but for some reason in the foreground is this other extra character with the low-cut dress. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, for example.
Or the shirt is buttoned up all the way, but all the buttons are really pulling on strategic places, implying that the boobs are going to burst.
About to burst,
possibly
yeah.
While they burst.
I know an artist who draws every female character that way. It seems great artist too.
For Bottomless Waitress, yeah, I've got these characters all like in buttoned tops or whatever, and I have to that is the style. So I'm drawing these buttons straining, and it's just not realistic. So it's really hard to draw that because it doesn't make any sense that they would always be like straining all the time, and the boobs would always be forcing the outfits in a particular way. It's just so unrealistic that it makes it really hard to conceptualize in my head.
It's not necessarily unrealistic, and I'm going to give you a very unsexual image. But when my grandma was alive, she was a big woman, and she had really big boobs. And she had naturally big boobs, but because she was big, they were enhanced, let's say. And when she wanted to wear something a little dressier, she would wear this very nice silk shirt, and unfortunately it would pull exactly in that way. So it's not unrealistic, it's just that it happens if like the shirt is a little too tight and the boobs are quite big. So
I mean, it's unrealistic in the way I do it. Like, I mean, I know it can happen. It's just that in the way I do it is because I involve things like having cleavage along with it, and the low cut collar, stuff that would mitigate the stretch is like not having anything. It's just, yeah, it's tricky. I need someone else to draw it for me. You guys can do it.
The day that Ozone Ocean has somebody else draw boobs for him will be a very dark day on the duck.
Yes.
I'm better drawing bums. They're easy.
Yeah. No, I do agree with that. Funny thing, the other day, I was thinking of how it's a small pet peeve. I don't really care if people do it. I just noticed it probably a little bit more than I would otherwise. But when people draw people who have a large chest and like, you know, the clothing, like the blouse or whatever, will be like perfectly hugging the boobs,
Yes.
without any indication it's been tailored that way. And I thought that I don't know that I knew everything about that, but the other day I was scrolling through erotic Twitter, and I found a latex lady, and they hugged her boobies perfectly. It's like they were molded from the latex. Now, granted, latex is a different kind of material, right? And somebody had to have made it perfectly like that. That or like she just painted over her tits, because there was no sign of any pulling or wrinkling, or like even that the seams were somewhere else. So it can be done, but if it's just like a blouse that like just hangs off or something, it's very noticeable that you want them titties to be noticed.
Damn titties.
Yes.
It's true. It has to be made in a way like a t-shirt. It's not gonna naturally do that unless it's been, you know. There was actually a thing called a t-shirt challenge where girls would grab the back of their shirt in order to emphasize the shape of the bust, because t-shirts don't do that. Like in anime, they're perfectly, you know, hugging that shape, but because there's an underneath area that the shirt can't glom into unless it's, you know, specifically that kind of shirt. But a loose shirt can't glom into that. It has to be a stretch thing.
Just make like a shelf more.
Exactly. It's going to make valley. Like a woman with big boobs is going to look fat. That's what happens because it hangs down in front, which people never get. Like we should do like a joke about that with Frances Baines, like having her in some loose thing and making her look really fat, because that's
there you go.
the natural look.
I remember
behind the curtain.
It has stuck with me, this one little sketch by some artist. Unfortunately, I don't remember who it was. That had this very stylized anime or manga style boob lady. Anime, thank you. Yes. So, you know, with the boobs being perfectly hugged by the shirt, and then the particular shirt on a hanger, and the shirt had like boob pockets that were sagging.
That's genius, and that's what did really happen too.
And that was like, it has stuck with me like forever. Now, whenever I see anything like that, I think boob pockets. Awesome. I love it.
Exactly. That's realistic. I mean, I'm looking at your post about the boobs, and there's Jessica Rabbit. Is she called Jessica Rabbit? Yeah, she is. I got the name right. Oh, for once in my whole life, I didn't call her Rebecca. I can't believe that. Jessica Rabbit.
Rebecca.
I always call her that. But she's wearing a dress with like that emphasizes her boobs. And when I've seen real cosplayers wear that outfit, that is rigid. Like that is like a full like bodice kind of thing. And it's easy to make the boobs look big because you put stuff underneath them to make them stand up above. So that's a good kind of outfit to give you massive cleavage, because you can pile it up with, I don't know, chicken breasts.
Yeah, I mean,
the idea.
Technically, assuming like if you see her dress, that would need a corset basically, and actually a pretty tight corset. And corsets push boobs up, like a push-up bra, and then you can have like a push-up bra with extra padding, and then you have massive boobs.
Yes, exactly.
There you go.
Make them with your lungs and
yeah, and a tiny waist.
Your belly.
Super sexy.
With the dress she wears, if I'm remembering it correctly, the only way you can, I mean, if you want to be realistic, and granted, like, she's a cartoon woman, like, that, just give her big cleavage tits, but, like, if, for devil's advocate, you wanted to say, like, how do you make a woman, or any somebody like that with the big old titties have cleavage, but wearing a dress like that, you would have to pretty much have those dress straps so tight. Nobody can see, but I'm playing with my boobs the whole time I talk. But you have to have the straps of the dress push against them so tightly they turn them like they pancake them kind of, and then they would, if they were big enough, then they'd not mine. I'm a member of the itty bitty titty committee, but then it would make an actual cleavage.
Yeah.
An actual cleavage. Just one.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's some of the weird things with boobs. The flattening out of them versus the cleavage. They're so freaking complicated. It is. I mean, even though they're just simple bags of fat, it's you've got those
jiggle physics are a thing.
Yeah, they are. You've got those two competing things. Like you squish them one way, and they're going to go one. Like I've seen, like when I'm photographing models and stuff like that. Like they squish the boobs one way, but then they'll stick out the sides, and then they'll do weird things. So you have to adjust them just right, and then take the photo from just the right angle because they'll be doing weird stuff everywhere else. So it's like squishing that water balloon. It goes one way and one way.
Yeah.
Challenging to draw, really.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you need the correct size bra, because if you have like a smaller one, I can tell you it's hell. It's hell because those things will not just trickle out; they will bounce out. even if you have small ones, and I speak from experience. So.
Two members of the itty bitty titty committee are on
Yes.
this call.
Whereas mine are huge.
Yeah, you're basically a giant tit.
Just one. I am a boob.
Just one. You just bounce down the street like a bouncy ball.
Blue. You've seen this thing now. It's super popular. It's just gone all around. Someone invented the idea of wearing a string bikini upside down. And now everyone's doing it because it makes boobs look way bigger. And it really does work. But it's caught on. It's like the way we all started wearing scarves a particular way. Now everyone's doing the bikini thing. It's just...
They wear them upside down. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
I'll Google it.
It's clever.
Yeah, I will Google it too, upside down.
Yes.
So the plunge is is on the bottom of the chest. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, I see. Okay. So the part that would tie around the neck goes around the torso. Okay.
That's it. And it just it makes boobs look big because it gives them the underboob thing, and it's incredible. It's such an illusion.
You know what? It seems a little bit more secure too, because like I had this green bikini I used to wear, and you can't like jump in the water or anything because it goes up. So like because the strip of fabric would just it's more narrow on the sides. So then, like, even if the wind blows wrong, then you're like, oh, I'm going to get arrested. But, yeah. So, curious about that now.
Yeah, it's...
At first, I thought they were the bottoms on their chest. And the chest...
Oh!
For a second, I thought, like, what are you talking about? Very strange.
Oh, God, the bikini bottom on their chest.
Oh, that was the image I got as well, and I was like super confused. So.
Just imagine you guys trying that at home. Now,
things are gonna get real weird.
It's like they are going to be free as a bird if I do that. Like the strap is going to go like right down the middle.
Bikini bottom. Wearing the bikini top on your bottoms. Yeah.
I was about to say, where does the top go? Just yeah. Wow.
Oh dear. Oh, maybe we'll start a new fad with the upside down girls.
They'll call it the duck.
The duck. Exactly. Oh dear. Yeah, but it's an illusion and it works. It makes boobs look bigger. I'm not sure if it's more secure, so I wouldn't test that out if I were you. But
yeah. Yeah, it's probably still very as flimsy as you'd expect very small pieces of fabric to be.
exactly, unless you got them tied up so tight, you're choking. So I don't know.
And then it just turns into hibari.
Yes, exactly. Or shibari.
I almost said hibachi. Shibari. I get it. I always do this. I get it crossed between hibachi and shibari for some reason, and then I say hibari. Oh.
Oh dear. Well, yeah, that's the name of wearing your bikini bottoms on your boobs. Hibari.
Tanya looks like she's very invested in what she's seeing on the screen right now.
She's researching.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the Discord real quick because yeah, I have no idea what
Gotcha.
I'm doing. So yeah.
Okay.
Discombobulated.
I thought you were delving deeper into what we were talking about, the many ways to wear bikinis. Anyway.
I'm gonna search that. Many ways to wear.
Ooh.
Oh, what were you talking about before with like the 9 boobs?
The 9 boobs?
Yeah, like you said some
9
magazine said there are only 9 kind of boobs.
It was just something I was just scrolling through for research for this show. And I guess 17 magazine posted something about the 9 different kinds of boobs. I only glanced at it for a second, but I don't know, maybe it's worth bringing up just to get some ideas. They had a picture of ones that point in 2 different directions, and they called it east-west.
Boobs are... Yeah, they can be so many different shapes and sizes that I think as artists, it's a lot easier for us to just get used to doing one simple average thing rather than being very complicated. Because the world is super complicated and you want to do something, shorthand that people recognize straight away. But it does, pay off to delve into complexity sometimes. So,
yeah. Well, it's exciting. Tits are exciting. So...
yeah, it's not a bad thing to do it. And like Tan said, it doesn't always have to be sexualized either. Like, just when you're drawing a character with a bust, experiment with making them not typical.
And feminine bodies aren't the only kind of bodies who have them.
Yeah, exactly. There's all kinds of trans and intersex and, men with
and even
large
just really
chests.
fat dudes. Like, yeah. Or even not fat dudes, but like, I don't know. I see my share of shirtless humans. They, it's very varied out there.
Yeah,
which makes the world a wonderful place.
Like, even like a very big muscly person, they can tend to look like they have boobs because their muscles are so rounded, like the pectoral muscles are so rounded. And those vary in shape a hell of a lot. You can have people with big square ones that are quite flat. You can have very rounded shaped ones, rippled.
Or even like those ones that are compact, where like you get those muscle men, but like the pec will be so much smaller compared to like the rest of the body. It's like compressed, or like the big ones, like you said. It took me a long time to unlearn how to draw like Dragon Ball Z style like pecs, where it's just 2 squares jammed together and then a neck comes out of it.
Neck with gigantic lats on either side of the neck. The shoulders. Jesus, Goku's body is ridiculous. But back in the old days, these days when you see a muscled actor, they're always like got a pretty typical shape with, you know, fairly large pectoral muscles and abdominal muscles and stuff like that. But back in like the 70s and stuff, people really didn't do abs that much for some reason. It just wasn't fashionable. So occasionally you'd see a man with abs, like an actor with abs, but mostly you wouldn't. And it was the pectoral muscles were the main focus of a muscled character. And some actors would have these gigantic pectoral muscles that were just like they're all pecs with a tiny little chest underneath, and it was weird. Like some of them like 2 TV screens on their chest.
You can rent it out for ad space.
Exactly. Yeah, they look, you know, like Optimus Prime, how he's got the 2 windows. Where his
Oh yeah,
pecs
because
are.
he's a literal truck.
That's what they look like.
I knew this woman who could pour draft beer out of her breasts.
Mhm.
That was awesome, though.
Created by the brilliant artist Pit Face.
Yes.
Thank you.
That was
Draft
great.
titties.
That was so striking and clever. Like the way that was drawn, it's one of those things where you do a double take because it looks real. It looks like something that could actually be a reality, and then you realize, no, this is a comic. That's not a possible thing.
They should post a
Not
clip
the
of
nine
that.
shit. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I had forgotten about. It's funny about that scene because before I drew it, I had it kicking around in my head randomly for so long. Like, oh, that'd be such a cool fucking idea. What if there was like a chick with tits, but like beer came out of her tits. And and then for the longest time, I just I just couldn't find the place to put it. So when the opportunity for that scene came up, oh, I was so happy. My time has come.
My time has
What was that, Bainsy?
Hello, welcome back to my
creative.
channel, and if
Oh,
you're new
thank
here,
you.
hi.
And I never imagined it was born from you saying, "Oh, Tootsie, oh, come on."
That's pretty much where all of my putrid meat ideas came from.
I
It was
love
a
that.
very
idle pit fantasies. Yeah, that is a genius idea, and that's going to be on. Can I use that as part of the cover for the QUACKCAST?
Please do, I insist.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've written that in for the cover idea. Perfect.
Full bodied.
It's a nice head on top, but I like the body better. It's like for Bottomless Waitress, I do like the 3 main characters with different kinds of boobs, and so they're both very different women with different body shapes and different boob types, and that becomes like a personality trait for them almost. With Frances with her gigantic oversized ones, Polly with her small pointy ones, a bit saggy too, and a Jane with her normal lady ones, which are a bit bigger than average because that's apparently what all normal women have. That's the trope. And we're not kind of, breaking any ground with Bottomless Waitresses. It's meant to be tropey and, lowest common denominator. So
You know what we're there for.
exactly. So that's how it's done. But say with Pinky and Cece, like they have a particular shapes as well. Like Cece was always meant to have little pointy boobs. She was meant to, like, I've forgotten that over the years many times that I've been drawing her, but she was always meant to have like smaller, pointier shapes. Whereas Pinky sort of settled on like rounded boobs, and they've changed size over the years because I'm hopeless at consistency. So sometimes they can be a bit too big, and sometimes they can be a bit too small. Which, you'd think, oh, but you can't have small boobs that are too small because boobs naturally, but they can in that. Like, I'm still drawing them as rounded boobs, but they're too small to be rounded because once they get to a certain, once boobs get too small, they couldn't be rounded anymore because that wouldn't work. They'd flatten out or they'd, just sag or something. So that doesn't work anymore. So you can have them too small if they're a particular shape because shape changes as size changes. Elastic things. I mean, one of the things people don't realize about boobs is, well, I mean, obviously women realize it about boobs, but one thing that men wouldn't realize about boobs is they aren't a constant and they change shape massively over a person's lifetime, but they also change over in a year, in the course of a year, or over the course of a month. As women get bloated or whatever, or retain water, I don't know, that kind of stuff. But
after they fall off of a bridge and drown and retain water,
like sponges, exactly. But pregnancy will change the shape of boobs, and over a course of a woman's lifetime, they change a lot. As you gain weight, lose weight, all that kind of thing. So they're not a constant at all.
Well, yeah, and that happens with a lot of people's chests too. I mean, with any kind of weight change, right? Like and depending where you put it, it's just like butts though, right? Like it gets bigger, it gets smaller, might get a bit saggy, depending on what you do with it or what you don't do with it, or life is rough on the fat storing parts of our body. Yeah, absolutely. Sucks.
It's true. Yeah. These things change shape, get bigger, smaller, crinklier, saggier.
Dimpled.
Yeah, dimpled, all sorts of things. That damn cellulite affects things in different ways. But boobs can get bigger as you put on weight. And for some women, the weight will go to the boobs, and some women, no, it'll go to other places. Their boobs won't increase. The kind of typical thing is for when women get fatter, the boobs get bigger. But that's not a constant, and that doesn't happen with every person in the same way. And another sort of constant is thinner women will always have smaller boobs, and bigger women will always have bigger boobs. But that's not constant for everyone either, because there are some thinner women with quite large boobs, and bigger women that just don't. So there are no constants for anything, and it's all very individual. But
I have a scar on mine.
Oh, really? What happened?
I do. No, I won't show you. I thought you. I saw that look in your eyes. Show us, and I was almost like, here. It looks badass, which is why I like to bring it up. But I'm actually not totally sure what happened. Something, I don't know if something bit me, because it started with two little kind of bumps, almost like a spider bite or something. And then over a couple of weeks, the area, without me picking it or anything like that, the skin just started to kind of deteriorate. And it spread out in this really puffy scab. And I never picked at it or anything like that. Maybe not till the very end or something, when it was mostly healed anyway. And I've still got this really puffy scar because it went kind of deep.
Wow.
Still don't know what happened, if it was a bacteria thing or something, but yeah, it was bizarre.
Jeez.
Wow.
So you can tell people it's a dueling scar.
Yeah, that's exactly why I like it.
Like those two opera singers that had that, I think it was an opera singer and a princess, or an opera singer and a duchess or something, and they stripped their tops off to have a sword fight, and it was to the first blood. It's that famous case. You guys know about that?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, that happens. They were very angry at each other and had to. They were fighting over a man, I think, and Yeah, and one of them ended up slashed in the boob.
Nice.
But they didn't kill each other. So,
yeah, apparently a lot of times duels didn't. It was best, or it became best if people didn't die, because then you got to deal with shit like, the families and then vendettas and all that kind of shit. And it just makes more trouble. So I don't know.
just slash him in the boob. That's all you have to do.
Yeah,
Get one of those
cut that
pit
titty.
face scars.
It is in a line. It's just a really puffy line, so it looks like I was slashed with something dirty that got infected afterwards.
Shanked in the tit.
Yeah. With a toothbrush.
Yeah, speaking of strange boob things, I was photographing a model ages ago, and she had one nipple shaped like a heart, and this wasn't a deliberate thing. It was just how things had happened, when because she had a boob job, and that's how it ended up as a heart-shaped nipple, and it looked cool. One of my other friends, who is a model, she had both of her nipples tattooed into the shape of hearts.
Oh,
So now they are hearts, and that's just genius.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And one had it, as an accident, and one just thought, "Yep, that's a look. I want to do that."
Yeah. Just goes to show you never know what's going on under somebody's shirt.
Yep.
No,
Sure.
everyone has like piercings and all sorts of things, all kinds of artwork.
So what is like I asked that before, so now it's come to me again. What is the freakiest thing you know about boobs?
The freakiest fact.
Freakiest, yeah.
Well, one freaky fact would be the shape of the milk producing glands can be sort of flower-like shape in their arrangement. They all spread out from the middle towards the nipple. They're not exactly in a flower shape, but they're very much all these glands going. And that's really bizarre.
Oh, that reminds me of one of my least favorite phrases, which is budding breasts. Something about the budding I don't like at all. I hate it.
Budding. I thought you meant butting. Oh, I thought you meant like
No, budding breasts are awesome.
two women coming up and going, boo, with their boobs. Yeah.
He's trying to sneak in line ahead of you. So
Budding. Yeah, that's a horrible, weird phrase.
Yeah.
It's disgusting because it is often applied to young girls who are just coming into puberty and stuff like that, and it's just gross. Just don't say that at all.
Yeah.
No, like if you don't refer to any sexual part of a young girl who's going through puberty, that's great. Just don't use any references to that at all. She can use it, but no one else can.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are your budding breasts today, honey?
Oh my God. No.
It's so gross.
It gives like the hint that the boob might explode, like open up. Like
Yeah. Oh, I hate it. Oh no.
Oh, don't even want to think
like
about
a Venus
it.
flytrap.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna
exactly.
draw that.
Oh yeah, that makes a great monster.
Well, speaking of
the sexiest woman, but her boobs are fly traps.
well, we've got the boob guns in both. I think Austin Powers and also Mars Attacks boob guns.
Yes.
And maybe
and all the 1950s bras. I think it was the 50s that had the like the
Points.
cone shape.
Cones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cone shaped, super sharp bras.
Yeah.
Those are weird, aren't they?
They're weird, but I like it because they're so kind of surreal in a sense, especially in an age when, like, you know, women were, I don't know, it was this weird kind of paradox, but
Mhm.
I mean, that was really emphasizing a part of the body that was very much considered sexual,
Mhm.
So it's yeah, and it looked cool, to be honest. Like, I think in a lot of ways it looks cool because it is so stylistic, It really stands out, if you know what I
Beyond
mean.
reality. Because, say, in the 20s, there had been no boobs. Boobs had gone away for a while, disappeared, and then they started to come back in the 30s, and the 40s was less, like, stagnated because of the war. That sort of put a damper on things.
War
But
kills tits.
exactly. But yeah, into the 1950s, boing, we got boobs
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
We could do
And it's
it.
interesting because the point, in a sense, is is aping the look of a nipple, which is like the most profane part of the female body besides her big smelly vagina. And so
Definitely according to Facebook and Instagram. You don't want to see those nipples.
yeah. But yeah, I mean the accentuation of that tip though, I mean it really makes you think of a nice big hard nip.
Yeah,
Or a missile.
there was even in that particular decade there was this hit Greek song. There was this Greek song right about that decade that came out, and it literally has lyrics that say that her nipples are so hard that the silk she is wearing tears. So there.
And it was like, would it have been based on those 1950s brassieres, or would it just be based
um,
on?
no, I think I wouldn't think so, but then you never know. Because we did have those bras over here as well. But I think it was just that she's like a young girl with firm, rock hard boobs.
Rock hard nipples.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Well, I like some of the ways we, as comic artists, draw these things. It does look like they're made out of, like
Concrete.
concrete. Exactly. Stainless
Yeah.
steel, sharpened nipples. Because the emphasis is on them too much. Oh, go on.
No, you go on.
Well, yeah, the emphasis, like I've done it. I've massively been guilty of drawing nipples as if they're, sharpened tips underneath a shirt. Because the emphasis is way too much on them, and the shirt wouldn't be able to grip that nipple like that unless it was, I don't know.
Real cold out.
Yeah, real cold, and the shirt was wet, and you'd applied super glue to it beforehand. As everyone does, of course, when they put on their shirt. But yeah, we can overemphasize nipples a bit too much when we draw them. Well, when I say we, I mean me.
And the freakiest thing is that the nipples can actually fall off.
Really? Oh, God.
Yeah. Like there is a condition, especially if you have really bad boob jobs or something like that. At least that's what the surgeons on YouTube say. That if blood supply is not efficient at the areola, which is the round part around the nipple, then that turns purple, then turns gray, and then turns black. And when it turns black, it falls off. And you have a nipple. And that's the freakiest thing I know about boobs.
Why does it hurt thinking about it?
It does. Oh my God.
Oh, I know another freaky fact. You can have extra nipples if you're along the milk lines, the lines of the nerves or whatever that go to the nipple, along those lines you can have a whole bunch of extra nipples. I think like about extranumerary nipples they're called. You can have about 6 or something. Usually it's symmetrically placed on the body too, like a cat. You know how cats like have like 6 nipples, I think. But yeah, you can have under the arm, so that the line goes all the way to the underarm. So you can. They usually when you have extranumerary nipples, they're not usually like your main nipples, your prime nipples. They're usually like little kind of moles or pimples. They look like, but they can all excrete milk. So you can have a little mole-like nipple under your arm excreting milk. It's amazing. Like just
that
dribbling
would be uncomfortable.
it.
And again, I mean, it's a snack on the go.
Sweat tasting nipples, lovely. Sweat milk. Yeah.
I got one.
Oh,
No,
really?
I don't have one of those, but I had a pack.
Show us your extranumerary nipple.
If only. Ed Gein had a belt made completely out of nipples.
Yeah, oh god.
Wow.
Oh jeez. Yeah.
It's right here.
Oh, gross. Oh, I want to vomit now. Those are real nipples.
I imagine that it's a reproduction some sick asshole made. I hope it's not the real thing.
Wow.
But yeah, out of all of he had all sorts of weird shit, and being the dude that he was, and all of his crafting, yeah, he had a belt made out of nipples that he got off of the buds.
My goodness me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might have mentioned that a while ago, and I put me in mind of that the song from The Simpsons, the takeoff of 101 Dalmatians. See my vest. Yeah. But
yeah, make me real gorilla just see my sweater does no better than that you got. You know, it does that to me every time.
yes.
See my hat was my cat evening wear my hat. See brave African and rhino grizzly bear and turtleneck. I got my share. Brave poodle on my noodle. It's so rest. So check out my Red Robin suit. It comes with breast or two. Breast. There's where it was. See my vest. See my vest. See my vest. And then it goes. Nope.
And of course, the vest has nipples on it.
My loafers.
For gophers. It was that. But a greyhound for tuxedo would be best. So let's prepare these dogs. Kill 2 for matching clogs. See my vest.
Wow.
See my vest. Oh, please, won't you see my vest? I really like my vest. I got it. So.
Oh, my goodness.
And it has nipples on it. That puts me in mind of... You remember one of the biggest controversies about that much hated Batman film, Batman and Robin?
Oh, yeah.
Batman and Robin's suits had nipples. And I was so disappointed that Alicia Silverstone as Batwoman did not have nipples. I just thought, why? We're missing out. It's not fair. So, Baines, do you have a freaky boob fact?
Yes, of course I do. Sometimes they come to life and talk.
That's them talking right now. Baines hasn't said a word this whole time. It's all been his boobies.
Mm-hmm.
Talented. Very
Thank
clever.
you. Only one set talks. I had a couple of sets.
A couple of sets.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, I think there have been a few cartoons or comics where the boobs have had a personality and they talk. You know, because there was that one about the guy with the dick and the dick talks, which is quite a famous one. It's many years ago now. And there was also one with boobs that talk as well. So There
There's
we
a
are.
talking penis in that Pam and Tommy show.
Say
No,
that
this
again.
isn't a penis cast, but Tommy Lee's penis talks in the Pam and Tommy series.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen
Yeah.
that. Fuck, really?
I haven't finished the series, but it's good. It's pretty good.
That's on Disney or Netflix.
Yeah,
Oh,
Disney.
wow. Maybe there's a reason to watch it now. Let's see
I
that
don't know if
talking
Pamela.
pig.
So, yeah, I don't know if let's talk. I haven't seen the last episode yet.
Well,
I guess they're not.
Pamela Anderson was a phenomenon. So she came to, I think she originally had done some Playboy or whatever, but she really became famous initially through Home Improvement as the Tool Time Girl, and then she, like, basically because she had boobs, huge boobs, and she rocketed onto worldwide fame through Baywatch. And
Yeah.
all CJ always wearing this tight outfit, and that show was just terrible. The only good thing about it was Pamela Anderson, and then even that was pretty crap.
Never seen the show.
No, you haven't? Well, you're not missing out
never.
on much. Oh,
No, and it looks very interesting.
But she got a real career out of this whole bimbo appearance, and the big boobs were part of that. So, and she owned it. She wasn't like, "Oh, I'm being sexualized" or whatever. She was like, "No, this is me, and I'm making a lot of money and getting a lot of power through that." So she owned it, which was a good thing. So she went on to doing like not Barbarella, something like
Barbed wire.
Barbed wire. You're right. And then she did Stripperella, maybe, or maybe that was someone else. Oh,
I think.
she did.
No, I think that was her. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Oh, the cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and in comics and all sorts of things. So that's a good example of someone not being, sexualized by someone else, but actually using their power and owning their image and making a huge success from it. So, which was a very different thing to her being sexualized as a person, which happened through that stupid sale of their sex tape with her and Tommy Lee, which was a really bad thing. And that was the private made public, and that was not right, because that was a private moment between them being made public involuntarily. And I think they did make a deal in the end for them to actually get royalties from it. But, that was the only thing they could do in order to, somehow make the best of it. It was
already out there. You can't get it taken away when so many people have already had access to it.
Exactly.
Can't put that toothpaste back in the tube.
Tuck those boobies back away where they were. But,
ew, now I'm thinking of toothpaste nipples, where you squeeze them and like Crest comes out or something. Crest breast.
Crest. That's a new character. Oh my god. Maybe one of the demonic characters from Inhabitants. With the Crest breast.
Yeah, imagine Pitface just took that beer stein breast gimmick and just kept expanding it. And capitalize on it with a whole series of characters.
That's a good idea. Huh.
Like My Little Pony, except with boobs.
Exactly.
Yeah, different kind of taps.
Well,
I could make that work in a way. Think about it.
You would need it like the basic boobs, like that dispensed chai or something latte or something. Sorry.
Dogs do not care for that. Tense.
Your puppies are restless.
Yeah, I had an accident and I accidentally spilled some wine over where they were sleeping, and they actually lapped it all up before I could mop it up. now they are. I mean, they are acting as they usually are acting, but they actually liked it, so I don't know what that means. So,
Don't get your puppies drunk. That will lead to bad things.
yeah, that's really not the plan.
Well, I think we're about tapped out for this particular cast, so we're up to like the hour mark, I suppose. So thank you very much for listening to this particular QUACKCAST. This has been.
Thank you.
We were going to discuss toys and Will Smith's slap and all this stuff, but it became the boob cast. So...
Yeah.
Bye,
Boobs conquer all.
They
So,
do.
bye-bye.
They do.
Tune in next week for the buttcast.
That's an idea.
Covering all anatomy.
I wouldn't be like, I would be open to discussing butts next time.
Always open to discussing butts, and butts are always open to discussing me.
And we also discuss ifs and ands. That's my question.
What was that, Baines?
Well, we also discuss ifs and ands.
This is the wit that we've missed.
Yeah.
It is. My God. I love it. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.